Loading. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ursuline Player Profile YSN Edition, Playoff Edition. We are in week numbered, well, technically 8 for the Ursuline Irish. Well, or maybe it could be technically number 7, as they did, in fact, have a big bye week. And today, or I should say tonight, I'm joined by running back. He also is a pretty good defensive player, as you saw against Cardinal Mooney and a little bit during the season beforehand. DeMarcus McRoy. DeMarcus, thank you for coming on, my man.
What's up?
So, DeMarcus, real quick, I know you had a big interview going on that you had with WKBN. I know, they interviewed you. You're the player of the game. I know it was your first interview. Let's just get that out of the way real quick. How was it being interviewed by someone like that? And I heard, you were a little camera shy. What was it like?
I was very nervous. That was like my first time being broadcast on TV too, like talking.
Yeah, I tell you what, if we did our player of the game, you'd have to be our player of the game too, getting you up there. We'd have to bring you all the way up to the Constantini just to see you and have you on one of our mics. But, again, it was a big victory for you guys. Speaking of which, that game you had 112 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, an interception. And also, it was in the Holy War too, one of the biggest games in Northeast Ohio, one of the biggest games in the Valley. And man, did you impress with 4 total touchdowns in that game. And I wrote in my article, you looked like Champ Bailey out there. I hope you know who that is because he's a former Denver Bronco. You looked like Champ Bailey with that interception. And then you just looked like Ezekiel Elliott. You were like, feed me the ball every time. And, you guys went through a big running back rotation, we should say, later on the season. Of course, some things happened behind the scenes, as we all know. What was it like, basically having that starting position now as a running back and the performance that you just had against Cardinal Mooney in general? What was that like for you and for the team?
It was very exciting because it was really hard to get carries. Plus, we're not really a run the ball type team. We do like a mix of both pass and run. So getting the opportunity to play running back that game was fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I imagine you had a blast just cutting through the holes and all that, giving up peace signs saying, see you guys, I'm going home, going right to the end zone for a touchdown. I mean, it was a big game for you, but also, the defensive side as well, that interception you had. I never knew you for quite of a defensive player. I know you played a little bit of defense, last year, this year too. What is it like, playing on the defensive side, on the ball? And, do you like it better than the offense, or what's your favorite? What do you like better, the offense or the defense?
Like when I was probably younger, I would say offense, but now getting into it, I think it's defense. It's like more exciting, like because we win the game basically. Defense win games, so.
Hey, that is true. Defenses do win games, but hey, so is the offense. If you have to throw up a Hail Mary or something like that during the end there, but I know where you're coming at, and I'm kind of surprised because I found you more as a offensive type of player. Of course, when I was on staff with you guys last year, I mostly saw that, but it seems like now you're getting a lot more experience on the defensive side of the ball too, and it was just all basically, it's been a big year for you guys. First of all, you came back after this whole quarantine, this whole COVID going on, and you guys are 4-2. And this is the first time Ursuline made it to the playoffs since 2015, and the first time they had a winning record. Also, I should say, if you're not counting playoffs, 2014, 2015 as well. What is it like, seeing Ursuline basically back on track while, your first 2 years here were kind of, downers? What is it like just seeing this team rise again?
It's like we can bring the culture back what it used to be years ago, and it's gonna build in the city, and more people gonna want to come to Ursuline and stuff, and build just like we did.
Yeah, I would imagine that too. That is a really big factor there. And tell you what, you guys again, big performance all year long. I mean, what was it? You guys had, I think, total of it was 21 points those 2 games against Borman and Nice, and those are some tough Valley teams as well. Your schedule this year, definitely, it hasn't really been the easiest, I should say. You played some tough teams, and, especially with teams that you lost to last year as well. But what do you think has been the biggest factor compared to, say, like 2019 to 2020 for this Ursuline team? Is it just, is it more experience at the coaching position? Player wise, of course, experience? Is it some switch around, some rotations going on with the team? Talk to us on what basically makes this Ursuline team so unique rather than the last 3 years or 4 years where it's been, in a slump and, a record of course, 6-24, and that's basically gone now. What is it like having this Ursuline team back?
We just had a lot of people step up from last year, and we just want to buy in, like how Coach Weirden said. And he said, once we buy in, good results gonna happen.
Ooh, results are going to happen. Tell you what, Coach Reardon has definitely been a big factor. You've had some great coaches, I know, during your years. Of course, when I was there, I had Larry Kemp. We made to the playoffs with him a bunch of times. Of course, he was there. You're a freshman year. Sadly, things didn't work out. They moved on, and you got the old coach back, the one that made it to 3 championships in a row, made it to brought Cam McKinley back to the playoffs and all that. What has it been like, having Coach Reardon around, and especially a whole returning coaching staff? With former players too, like Jesse Curry, Ryan Kelly, Mike Frasco, or all the Frasco brothers actually now here. What is it like just having that whole experience and people that basically grown up with Ursuline football, people that bleed green and gold? What is that like having them there?
It's fun because we know we can win just like how they won in the past, and it's very exciting having them around and showing us how they played and what they coached and what they got coached to them and bringing it back to us.
Yeah, one player that has some championship experience on that team is Jesse Curry, of course. Now, I know we're going to give Coach Curry a little shout out here because, he needs it. I know you know a little bit about Coach Curry as well. When he's not on the football field, he's making some TikToks. Have you ever considered making a TikTok with Coach Curry at all?
Yes, I've made a few actually.
Made a few actually.
Four or three.
Four or three. And real quick, was Coach Curry being appropriate at all? Because I know sometimes he likes to, sometimes when he's not at practice, he likes to, be a little more inappropriate on those game chats that he does for PS4. Was he being appropriate? He was being appropriate. That's just wild. I never expected you to join into Jesse Curry's little TikTok stuff over there. But I know, you guys have had so much fun though with this just all around experience. I know you guys, of course, did those TikToks during quarantine. You guys have music blaring around almost every practice, which, by the way, I was there. I didn't know. I don't think you saw me, but I was there. I was watching for a bit. Got to watch from a distance, can't be on the field right now or else Ursuline's going to catch me and they're going to give me the boot for real. Mr. Sam's going to boot me out, even though I graduated from there. But no, that's always a good thing. Always good that you guys have fun here. But now let's look a little more to this week. So you guys had a big bye week. You guys had a little time to rest. I know a few injury bugs hit you guys here and there. And now you guys are facing against a team that was 0-6 at one time, but got a big upset win against Fairless by a final of 28-17. And that is Phila Angeles St. Joseph. And this team is not to be reckoned with. And I know you guys probably saw them on film. This team can show you what upsets are about. They can show, hey, maybe because we had a bad regular season, doesn't mean we're giving up by any means. It didn't mean we were opting out like some teams are. It means we're going to continue the fight till the end. I know they've watched film on you guys. I know you've watched film. What have you seen from them so far?
That they can be very good on the offensive side if they get going. But once you pressure them, they start to fold a little bit. But if you don't let up, you can beat them by a lot.
Beat them by a lot if you don't let up. And we've seen that from you guys this year. But you definitely put the point right there. They can't let they let up. We're going to take advantage of them. But that's the biggest thing here is what do you think so far about maybe their scoring wise? Because it seems like this year they haven't really been big in scoring, but now it seems like after this game, they just have tons of momentum on their side, especially on that offensive side where they had 28 total points. What have you seen out of their offense during film?
That they can be very good if they get plays going, and if they don't get plays going, they still try to get a big one the next drive or the drive after that.
I see. So are they more? So are they more? You think they're more of a pass or a run by the looks of it?
They, I would say they are probably pass a little bit more just because they have a very tall wide receiver. Number 7, he's kind of tall, so they try to like give him some shots every drive.
Okay, yeah, that's fair, and tell you what, big receivers like that, it's gonna be. I know you guys have some pretty good corners as well, but I know when it comes to tall receivers, you guys have to really kind of like go LeBron James over here and try and
Yeah.
jump as high as possible while getting that ball. Maybe go a little Odell Beckham on the defensive side here. But another thing to talk about is, of course, your career basically as a kid. You know, was football always a sport for you growing up? And if so, what made you actually just want to get into football altogether? Did you like one of your parents play? Like, did your dad play, a family member play, or did you just have a love for the game when you were watching it?
When I was younger, to be honest, I was really into basketball. I hated football. Then one day I had got in trouble and my mom sent me up to a football field, to a football the little league team to do punishment. And then somehow I ended up falling in love with it. And once I was hearing about how good my dad was in football, that's when I started to like football more than basketball.
Oh, so in reality, then it seems like it's a rare occurrence when a punishment actually means that you actually like the punishment. So that's a rare sight, apparently. Now I'm kind of jealous because whenever I was punished as a kid for eating chocolate or whatever, that never happened to me. Like, they never put me out into a kicking field and say, "Hey, go kick some footballs." That never happened to me. They had spankings at the time. I got spankings. Like, come on now. I mean, what's going on, man? Like, come on. But no, that's an interesting story right there because I would have expected that it'd be like I was a big fan of football and I definitely wanted to play, but no, it was a different scenario where you were actually busted for something from your mother who caught you, and then you end up loving this game instead of hating it for the slow league team, and then all of a sudden you're out here putting pancakes on everyone and just running over everyone. So that's a big occurrence there. But I guess speaking of sports, you are also a star basketball player. I did broadcast your games before the whole pandemic hit. I'm going to broadcast your games more. Are you still going to be playing basketball? If, of course, the season does happen, will you be playing basketball this year?
Most likely, yeah. The only thing about it is I want to gain more weight for football next season to get bigger, but during basketball, I lose a little bit of weight from like all the running and being in the gym and stuff.
From all around being in the gym.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's a big thing that happens, I think, with a lot of basketball players that try to, or a lot of football players that try to go into basketball. And in high school it's easier. In college you can't really do it much. It's a rare occurrence. But I feel like though the lifting programs are without doubt different, when football comes, with basketball. I feel like the weight room programs, are more light in basketball. Like you don't use the weight room as much, if I'm correct
Yeah.
on that, right? Well,
hmm
football, as we've seen, like, during the beginning of the offseason, like December, January, you're in that weight room constantly. I mean, like
hmm
almost 3, 4 times a week, if you count a Saturday, 2, maybe 5.
Yeah.
And, that's how it was for me there too. But I definitely do see the change there. But, it's good that you're going to be getting some shots up right now. Has any colleges been looking at you for basketball and football?
Not not really, but hopefully I can get some going soon.
Soon indeed. Hey, now offers are coming on the table. I know after that big game against Mooney that you had, and possibly looking at your basketball highlights and your football highlights, I think you're gonna have colleges looking at you for both your basketball skill and your football skill here coming up. And you have another year too. You're only a junior, man. Like you have another year. I know you said you want to gain some more weight. And you have time to do that, dude. Like you're gonna have a whole off season now of
hmm
lifting. I know you're gonna have some basketball stuff too. And when this season ends, whenever it's gonna end, are you gonna try and get to the weight room as well as like play basketball? If like say, practice somehow ends early, are you gonna try and go to a weight room?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, look at
I'll try to get in at least 3 times a week during a week.
Yeah, I tell you what, you guys have a nice weight room there at Ursuline High School. Much nicer when I was there because it just looks a lot cleaner now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, and tell you what, Mike Bartos did a great job on that one too. I guess we should get, I say, final question now before we go here. So, again, 2020 season, it's been really good for you guys so far. What do you think right now your highlight is of this 2020 season?
That we beat all the odds and all the bad that happened earlier on in this year, and we took it well. And this is our big chance to prove the city wrong and everybody else wrong about how we was years ago.
Ooh, okay. I love that attitude right there, man. And tell you what, right now, if you guys get on top early and beat this Phila team, St. Joseph team, tell you what, you guys can be looking at another big game coming up here afterwards. We're gonna have to see who you guys would play. But tell you what, I know your guys' game is Saturday. I know the boys over there, Jason Thorney, they'll probably be broadcasting that. I will not. I will be at the Crestview game, so you won't see my face. You won't hear my face or see my face there. Sadly, I know you're probably mad about that. You can't see Coach OB again, but rules are the rules, and I'll be at Crestview instead. But I'll be keeping updates on you guys. I'll be trying to give score alerts on you guys in this big game. Final question, I guess we could say, is everyone usually has a hobby when they are outside of high school or college, or they want to go into college for something. What do you say your hobby is outside of high school right now? Like, what do you like to do?
Probably hang out with my friends, chill, sometimes work out, but most of all, chill with friends.
Most of all, just get a good vibe going.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, when you turn 21 and you have a vibe going, and depending on if COVID ends, you could be probably a few years from now, you could be getting into the downtown bars over here as long as you behave well.
Yep.
Be like me and ODs, you're squeezing through places. Make sure you don't bump into anyone. And who knows, maybe you meet a girl down there too. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. But DeMarcus, man, thank you for coming on, dude. It was a pleasure to have you. And again, you guys have been really good all season long, and I'm really happy that you guys are just, finally the vibes there in Ursuline where there's a lot of leadership. You guys are like together, not apart. And the whole coaching staff has been helping you guys through the day, through the night with everything that goes on here, man. So, again, thank you for joining us, and good luck against Phila Angela St. Joseph this week. Should be a big game for you guys, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. You have a great night, buddy.
You too.